Hello, can you
Hello,
hear me?
Andrea. I can
Oh,
I can see you. How are you?
good, thank you. Good, very good.
Busy
Uh,
days?
yeah. I just started doing interviews. I've done something else this morning, but we just came back from near Rome because we did a video. We filmed the video in the weekend, so we just got home yesterday afternoon.
Cool. What is the next music video for which?
It's a song called "I Wish You Were Dead."
Okay, the short one on the album.
Yeah, the more poppy, catchy one, let's say.
Yeah, it's a very nice song. Anyway, and speaking of Sleepless Empire, when you guys start working on the songs for the album?
Uh, It's been a long process because we started with Never Dawn because it was a song requested for a board game that they want to use it for the trailers on the internet, and so that one was maybe a year and a half ago or something like that, or maybe a little more. So we recorded just that one song, and then we recorded also in the meantime alone, and then the rest has been recorded as an album all together. And so let's say, yeah, probably the process started a year and a half ago, more or less. uh, but then it took a long time because we struggled to find a focus, and we had some stuff happening beside the COVID, obviously, that
Yeah.
delayed everything. And then Marco, he used to have a studio in his basement, but then he's changed the house, so he doesn't have the studio in the house anymore. So we had to find another studio where to go to work, and that kind of make everything longer. And but in the end, we made it.
Yeah, and Sleepless Empire, it's a great record. And you guys before this, you guys re-recorded Como Lies. Um, did that influence somehow the writing of this album?
Maybe, yeah, maybe because we before we started rearranging, let's say rewriting Comalize, we re-record the parts as they were on the original one. So me, Marco, and Christina, we went to the mountains because Marco has a house in the mount, a little house in the countryside in the mountains, and we went there for he went there like for 2 months just to re-listen to Comalize and take the parts and rewrite all the keyboards and stuff. And then me and Christina, we went and we re-sung all the song as they were, and then we changed them once Marco moved forward and reconstruct the songs. We re-record them in the studio here in Milan. So maybe during that process we kind of sort of get inspiration from the way we were doing things back in the days,
Yeah,
the way we were working arrangement a little bit. Maybe, yeah, maybe even unconsciously, you channeled certain vibes, because a lot of people say that the ones that have heard Sleepless Empire, they say that it sounds new, but it's also have some reminiscence of the past of
yeah,
Lacuna Coil in certain songs, So maybe it's true. Yeah.
yeah. Well, you guys have forged your identity for many, many years. So, I mean, for more, even if you try to get away from it, I mean, only if you were not in the band or Christina were not in the band, we could say it would be something, very different. But as soon as we hear you and we hear Christina, we know it's Lacuna Coil.
Yeah,
More
yeah, absolutely.
more Comalais or more Sleepless Empire, the newest record. It's still you guys have your own identity. And how was and the pandemic? It was like started like 5 years ago or something. How was those times for you guys? It was difficult. I mean, it was for everyone in a way, but for you guys as a band, was hard.
Not so much, to be honest. I mean, obviously, it was hard because of the situation of seeing people dying, and it wasn't happy times, obviously. But for us, that we were fine and our parents were fine, so we kind of took it as a little holiday in a sense that we stayed home for a long time with our dear people,
Yeah,
and we never did for many years. For many years, we were always on tour, always somewhere, so we stayed home as well, but never for such a long time. It never happened to stay home for 2 years in many years.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't so bad, and we got lucky with a couple of things. So even financially, we didn't struggle. We with a little bit of help from the government, a little bit of help from the fans, buying merchandise, supporting. We found some ways to use the social media as well.
Yeah.
And so overall, we didn't struggle. I mean, obviously, it wasn't an easy time, but we never suffered too much for that specific thing. It was just maybe the second year was a little harder because we never know if we were gonna go back to normal. And but after that, we were fine. So in the end, just creatively, it wasn't good. Like we didn't feel inspired at all for writing music. It was very boring in a way because we only play video games or I play guitar at home. It wasn't really feeling creative. We didn't get any experience to say that gives you some inspiration, so we didn't meet a lot of people. So we feel kind of blank. But beside that, it was not too bad.
Yeah. And Sleepless Empire, is it about this new generation with mobile phones and social media where we just staring at the phone all the time and not really realizing what is around us anymore?
Yeah. I mean, it's not only the new generation; it's also us.
Yeah.
It's not a specifically just a critic to the society. It's just more of an observation
Yeah.
of the society because we are also always on the phone.
Yeah.
But the only difference is that we grow up in times where you don't have any connection and have any internet. There wasn't YouTube, there wasn't Spotify, there wasn't. So we have experienced life even without it and with it. So while the newer generation, they only see digital era from the beginning. They grow up with the phone in their hands since they were kids. So sometimes they don't even know what it feels like to live without the connectivity, without being reachable 24/7. When we were kids, we were going out to play, and our parents didn't know where we were. We were just going to play football somewhere with friends. And that's it. And then you come back for dinner, and that's it. Nobody was worrying about it. Nobody was crying about it.
Yeah.
So times have changed, obviously, and we also have changed. And that's the starting point of Sleepless Empire, is this reflection over the way we live nowadays. And then every song obviously has different topics, but that's the overall story. It's like a film or a movie soundtrack, where you have different characters, different lives in the same movie, but overall there's a common story.
Yeah. And you have a couple of guests on this record. You got Randy from Lamb of God. Was it easy to, find a song that you would want to sing on and that you guys would be happy about? How was when you were writing that specific song? You already had him in mind, or just happened?
No, we have already all the parts written and already sung also by me and Christina in a demo version, not
Yeah.
in the final version, but in the demo version. And then we wanted to try to put a couple of guest vocalists because we've never done it before in our music. So we say, obviously, Randy from Lamb of God is a longtime friend. We know him since Oddsfest 2004, which was the first time we toured together. And then we've been in touch for the past 20 years. We've toured other places. We toured South America together. We toured Australia together. And we're big fans of Lamb of God. And Randy is a big fan of Lacuna Coil. So he's a friend. When he finishes a European tour, sometimes he comes down to Milan and we go to see photo exhibit, and we go to dinner together with his girlfriend and everything. So he's a family member.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a natural choice to ask him, and we were really pleased to ask him and to have him on the record. And so then after we decided who we're gonna have, we choose the song that could fit Randy's voice, and he makes also some little arrangements, different arrangements on his part, and that makes it even more interesting. So we were very happy with the result, but we didn't write in on purpose for him.
Okay. And you have Ash Costello from New Year's Day.
Right.
Obviously, you guys tour with them, so it did make sense to have a song with her, and she's a powerhouse as well.
Yeah, we wanted for that song, that part of the song, a voice that was more like Christina, like more of a powerful rock voice,
Yeah,
and not so much of an operatic or super clean voice. We want something a little bit rough, a little bit raspy, and so we had two or three names in mind, and she was one of the names, and we asked her first, and she immediately say yes. So we said, okay, that's great, and then. She also did some different harmony in her parts, which are maybe a little bit more American style that we probably wouldn't have written on ourselves because we don't have that taste.
yeah,
And so it was great to hear the result, and then we did the song live as well on tour, so it was just perfect.
yeah. And with the album coming out soon, touring plans, you guys going to be busy for the rest of the year? What are the plans so far?
At the moment, we have announced already the tour in Latin America first. Like we're going to Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Honduras, Mexico, and then we go in the States and Canada with Machine Head, In Flames, and Unearthed. And then after that, we have some festivals in Europe, not so too many, but we're gonna announce soon also European tour. So there's gonna be a European tour in the year as well.
Okay. Uh, Portugal?
Of course, also Portugal
I'm
will
looking,
be there.
yeah, I'm looking forward to see you guys again. And you mentioned recording the video for the song "I Wish You Were Dead." How that song came about? Because uh, it sounds like Lacuna Coil, obviously, as we were saying, but it's very catchy. It's a bit of a different side of Lacuna Coil. What led to the composition of the song?
Yeah, it's more of a straightforward song. Maybe it can also sound a little bit like some of the older stuff we've done. Some of not all of the song, but some songs we did in the past. And it was very catchy and kind of simple because Christina had already the melody for the voice, and so we just didn't want to put something too complicated because the melody was going really well,
Yeah,
flowing really well. So we didn't want to put heavy stuff or double bass or stuff that makes it weird. And so we did. It was a song already born like that, and we decided to put some lyrics that were more not extreme, but more like black humor kind of lyrics because the song is already very melodic and simpler than some other songs. And so we want to play a little bit with the title and with the more extreme sentence, which actually is not that extreme. And also the video is going to be a little bit of black humor as well. And so I think it's important in a record to have something that kind of change the mood a little bit. Otherwise, it becomes too much of a monolithic record. We have maybe already 4 or 5 heavy songs. Then we wanted the slower songs like Sleep Paralysis, and a more catchy song like I Wish You Were Dead. So there's needs to be a little bit of variety in a record, I think.
yeah. And you guys had lineup changes. It's not easy, I'm sure, for a band, but it's like a necessary evil in this case for you guys to have to make the change in the band.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it doesn't affect so much the songwriting because it's always the three of us, especially in the past 4 or 5 albums. It's always been the three of us mostly, but there was contribution also from the previous guys in the band, from riffs or parts or arrangements. But since, let's say, Delirium, probably it's always been only the three of us working for all the songwriting or 99% of the songwriting. So that doesn't change much, but we need the people in the band to be motivated and to be willing to grow with, especially the younger people, because we've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
But when we get a new musician and we go for a younger person, we want these people to grow with the band. And if that doesn't happen for whatever reason, then we need to change, because we are doing this. We don't know how long we can still do it. Hopefully, a long time, but you never know. So we want to have people 100% on the band, and if it's not possible for whatever reason, there's nothing wrong with it. People has other stuff to do and wants to do other stuff, but we have to move forward. We don't want to wait for anybody to be there. If you have the chance and you want to take it, you take it. If you don't, whatever. It's normal. I mean, nowadays it's different times also for this. Once I think bands used to have more of a stable lineup for a longer time, but people have changed. A lot of the people that was in the band before, they don't even play anymore. They've changed their lives. Some people got kids and moved to the countryside. Some people moved to the other side of the world. A lot of people, they never went into bands again, so they wanted to change their life, obviously.
Yeah, is it hard to find a member that wants to commit 100% to the music like you guys do? Because it's the case of the three of you. Is it hard to find, like, these days, you're not mega rich, you're not millionaires, you don't have private airplanes or anything.
Yeah.
It takes some effort to be in a touring band. Do you think people don't realize how hard it is actually to be in a band?
Yeah, because everybody wants to be in the band, but then when it's time to do the things that it takes to be in the band, not everybody is ready to do it, or maybe it's ready to do it for a while, but not for a long time. And yeah, as you say, this is a job. Like you make a living with it, but you don't become rich. You don't become really rich. You can have quite a good living, but normal, like if you have a proper good job. Same, because a lot of the money we make, we invested in the band. We keep it to make videos, to pay the tour bus, to it's always a cycle of money. A lot of money comes in, but a lot of money comes out as well. So to keep a band of this level touring the world, you always need to have some money on the side to pay for flights, to pay for the crew, to pay for the flight, to pay for the hotels. Everything it's on you. So you do make good money, but you also spend a lot of money because you invest in the money if you want to keep it going, and growing, give better shows and get better equipment, and so you leave no problem, but you also have to work for it, and it's always, you have to be always up to speed because everything changes, and now you don't sell records anymore. You have to stream the album. You have to be on the social media. So you have to change with the flow and follow the evolution of the music business to keep being relevant as a band, and so not everybody has the understanding of how much work it takes. Many things needs to be taken care of that are not just writing a song or recording or going on tour. There's also a lot more day-to-day job that needs to be done that has nothing to do with music, that has all to do with business and bureaucracy, meetings, sponsors. Like there's a lot of stuff that is not zero artistic importance.
And for you being an old school musician, you grew up with vinyl, with CDs. How do you see this new era where you actually have to push for streams, as you were saying, instead of record sales? Is it weird for you to say, listen to us on Spotify or Apple Music or Deezer or whatever platform it is? Is it odd for you? I know there's the vinyl editions, the CDs, and you have the hardcore fans that will buy, but majority these days they stream. And I'm an old school. I buy CDs, I buy vinyl, I stream music as well. But is it strange that things have shifted like this?
No, because it happened step by step, so we got used to the different ways. The only negative about, I love streaming in the sense that it's very comfortable. You just need your phone, you put it in the car, and you have all the discography. You keep it on the beach, and I dropped the headphones. Well, you put the headphones on, and you have music everywhere. There it goes. It's here. And so it's not difficult. It's just that we got used to it, and it's not a problem. The only thing is that he doesn't pay as much as he was paying selling albums, And so you need many more streams to make the same money you were making with selling records,
Yeah.
and that's a bit frustrating at times because you see all these millions of streams, but then it doesn't translate into money. And once used to be you sell a million record, you would make $1 million more or less. Nowadays you do 10 millions streams, and he's not even close, maybe €2,000.
Yes.
So it's not the same, and doesn't translate the same anymore. And but other than that, we're used to use this technology, and we're not against technology. It's an evolution. It is what it is. And luckily, metal music, the fans still buys physical product in numbers that are still relevant. It's still worth for us to print special edition box set CDs or vinyls, different colors, different designs. So it's still makes sense to do it. But obviously times have changed, and there is also different incomes now. There's a lot more live shows, a lot of merch sales, and there's sponsors that comes. The once sponsors were something completely unacceptable for a rock band. Nowadays, there's normal. Obviously, sponsor that makes sense with music, not something that doesn't belong. But there's different ways to make money if you are smart enough and you open enough. But we are very open people. We always we love also to embrace different things, like the more nerdy things like board games, video games, comic books, movies. Like, we are very wide spectrum of passions and things that we like, instruments, technology, studio technology. There's a lot of other things you can do to make some living, but obviously it's different, very, very different than it was 15 years ago.
Yeah. Of all those things that you guys are passionate about, is there one thing that you would like to be involved with, or let's say play a show with Lacuna Coil somewhere that you haven't done yet, that you would like to do, that it's a dream of yours?
I mean, we have a lot of ideas of shows that are special, not only the band playing, but also other stuff, other choreography, other collaborations with other people. So we're maybe working on some project, but they usually take a lot of time to organize. Just to do the one special show, it takes like months of work ahead, and people that put everything together and make it work. So it takes a lot of energy, and not when you have a new album coming out, because you need to focus on the normal touring, and it's already a lot to tour and do all the press and all that stuff. But once maybe 1 or 2 years when the album is out, then you can think of more special events, special collaborations. One thing we would like to do also is write a proper music soundtrack. I would like to write a graphic novel as well, but it's stuff that takes a lot of energy out of you. So you can do it, but not in a moment like now, when you have already a lot to do, a lot of time to go away, travel, and promote the album first.
Yeah. All right, Andrea, thank you very much for your time. All the best for Lacuna Coil. Hopefully we'll see you guys soon in Portugal again. So fingers crossed for that. And I'll see you soon. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
see
you.
you in Portugal.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.